As Muslims, we are not supposed to drink alcohol. But in today's society, sometimes it is not as easy to commit to that. I think my story will resonate with a lot of people because the younger generation is going through so much and can't ask for advice from anyone because of the taboos around that topic. I am a bit scared to talk about this, but today I want to share with you about the relationship I had with alcohol growing up as a Moroccan Muslim woman. And while saying those words, I know that I will get judgment from the Moroccan community, probably from the Muslim community too, and my friends and family will probably ask themselves, why am I putting myself out there like that? But I feel like this is an important conversation that we should have because growing up, I wish someone had that conversation with me instead of just saying, this is hshuma, this is haram, and not actually telling me why it was. And I know that a lot of Moroccans out there are asking themselves the same questions without getting any kind of answers. So I'll take the bait. Let me talk about my experience with this. I remember the first time I ever touched an alcoholic beverage. I was 16 years old and I was at a house party with high school friends. And the most haram thing I could ever imagine doing at that time was either drinking or going clubbing. I had that one friend of mine that had brought a can of beer at this party. And I thought, oh my God, how does she dare bringing that here? She is crazy. And she asked me if I wanted to give it a try. At that time, I was going through all of the teenage phase. I wanted to be a rebel and do all of the forbidden things. And this was the worst thing I've ever tried and tasted in my whole life. That beer was absolutely disgusting. But I loved the feeling that came with it. The feeling of letting loose, being a rebel, and belonging to the cool kids gang. In Morocco, you don't get access to alcohol like in Europe, for example. It is forbidden and you can drink only at some touristic places or at home. So growing up in this environment, I never felt like the need to actually drink, to have fun with my friends, to party until late at night, and not to get socially awkward or anxious. But the more I got used to getting access to alcoholic drinks, the more it became a habit. Hey Habibti, if you're enjoying this episode so far, we are launching one piece of content like this a week. So don't forget to subscribe to be part of this insane community and join us on Instagram for exclusive content. When I immigrated in France, it became even worse. Every get-together, occasion, birthday, work event, you name it. It was an excuse for me to drink. The whole society in Western countries is built around social gatherings, including alcohol. So I started to drink more, just so I could fit in and belong to this new society. But I actually hated the feeling it gave me and the addictive aspect of it. I couldn't spend one single social event without a drink, or otherwise I would feel anxious. That sounds so crazy to say today because I spent the majority of my life as a sober person in Morocco. But then, because of this new environment, I spent most of my time drinking. I got to a point where drinking was not even bringing me the feeling of lightness and happiness at social events. Instead, I was just feeling more and more depressed, anxious, nervous, even angry sometimes. But I couldn't get rid of this bad habit because in European countries, if you don't drink at a social event, it is perceived like you're the weird one, like you're the outsider, You're the one that is making weird choices. I never understood this double standard. And so I decided to make peace with this. Today, I have enough experience and knowledge to know that alcohol isn't good for me. That growing up in Morocco without having an easy access to that was actually a blessing. And I am not saying this in a place of judgment. I consider myself a Muslim, even though I know that my definition of being a Muslim is probably not the most accurate one. I consider that your relationship with religion is personal and we have absolutely no right to judge others. But growing up, I was taught as a kid that this was my religion and that is this, and everything was forbidden. Without really explaining the how or the why or even the what. If I'm sharing all of this with you, it is because I know how hard it is to navigate through a conservative country and culture. But also, at the same time, trying to build your own identity. From my perspective, I think it is okay to experience things. It is okay to make mistakes and learn from it. It is by going through all of that that you can actually be a better person. So I hope that you notice. If you grew up in a Muslim environment or even a conservative family and you don't know which path is the right one for you or how to navigate all of these mixed feelings, no matter what you do, as long as you try to be a good person and the better version of yourself, you will be okay.